morning. This is Thomas Rhett calling in from Charleston, South Carolina. How y'all doing this morning?
Thomas, how you doing, man?
Buddy, I'm better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. So where are you at right now?
Man, I'm on a little family trip down in Charleston, South Carolina.
Relaxing a little bit, enjoying the summer?
Yeah, relaxing a little bit before we get on the road this weekend. So,
yeah, really excited to see you at Cheyenne Frontier Days on the 27th, by the way.
Hey, man, I've gotten the privilege of playing, Frontier Days a couple of times, and looking forward to doing it again this weekend.
It's going to be a blast. Have you ever ridden a bull before?
I've ridden a horse, man, but I don't know that I've got the guts to get on a bull. Have you?
No, a mechanical bull, yes, one time in Nashville, but that's enough for me.
I feel like a mechanical bull is when you can be in control of the settings of the bull. I'm fine to get on that.
Oh yeah,
not a wild one.
If it's breathing, you want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll watch it from a distance.
Thomas Rhett on the phone right now, the new album About a Woman coming out on August 23rd. So, Thomas, you put out 20 number ones, the greatest hits album last year, and it's just crazy to think how fast time is moving. And now you're moving into this brand new era with the new album. Do you ever have doubt when you're putting out new music still, or has that gone away throughout time?
Man, I feel like it's kind of, I think the pressure is still there, not really from an external point of view, but I think just from my own heart, just always wanting to kind of do better than I did the last time. But man, I hear you, like time moving fast, and I don't know if it's either turning 30 or having a bunch of kids that makes time feel like it's moving. But I've been doing this for almost 14 years now, so I've been really blessed to kind of be in the game, long enough to to watch a bunch of my buddies rise to the top, and I think for me when it comes to my music, man, every time I'm about to make a record, I think I put the pressure on myself to just make sure that I can outdo myself,
Yeah.
And this record was no different, man. I got to work with a bunch of different people I'd never worked with before, constantly kind of pushing myself to sing different melodies and write about, some unique content and be able to make records that always sound, progressive and kind of forward thinking. And this record to me, man, I just wanted to exude just a feeling of joy. And so I think once people get this record in their hands and they tell me that they smiled the whole way through it, then I would say that's mission accomplished.
That's so great, and it's so important that you yourself are your own motivator. And it's funny that you're talking about being in your 30s, because you and I are around the same age, and I feel like we blinked, and next thing you know, we're 3 chapters next in our lives. It's pretty crazy to think about.
Dude, it's so wild, man. And I think turning 30, I don't know if my brain finally fully developed or what it was, but I feel like I just kind of see life in a different light, and I've learned how to be a lot more present, with my family and on the road and in my job. And I don't know, man, it's a really sweet season, and getting to watch my kids grow and finally kind of get to become friends with my kids and hang out with my kids, and it's just it's a sweet season, man, and I'm looking forward to this next chapter of music and next chapter of touring. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next chapter of your music as well. Again, About a Woman coming out on August 23rd. Thomas Rhett joining us. Overdrive catches my ear a lot because of how nostalgic it is, man. Like, it just reminds me of being a teen. You're in your first car, your truck, you're driving over to your lady's house, and it like transports us to another time, and I love it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you've listened to my music over the last decade, you know that I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I mean, my favorite movies in the world are like football movies, like Remember the Titans or Varsity Blues. Like, I love being kind of transported back into that high school and kind of college nostalgia, like from a heart perspective. And so, I love getting to write it from the unique perspective of my life, because I know that if I grew up a certain way, I'm sure that there's a lot of people in the world that can hear especially the words of Overdrive and be transported, like you said, man, like right back into your first truck, going to pick up that girl that you like on a first date, and the awkwardness of it and the intensity of it. And yeah, man, I think that song is going to be a big one for us, and we're actually going to play it for the first time ever live at Frontier Days. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to kind of rearranging the set, dude, and trying to get a lot of this new music and even some of the older album. I mean, there's signs every night that will say, "Can you please play Beer with Jesus?" And I'm like, man, you might be the only one in the crowd that wants to hear that song tonight. But it's I feel like that's when you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Somebody's requesting something that you released 10 years ago. But it's going to be a fun weekend, and can't wait to Can't wait to be in Cheyenne.
It means so much to so many people, and like with Overdrive, like it reminded me that I had "I Like It, I Love It" on song 3 of my Burn CD, and that like
Oh yeah, come
30
on.
seconds into the song, it would skip every time, and that's just the way I thought the song was for a while.
That's the way it is, man. Dude, I sold my high school truck when I went to college, and about 5 years ago, I bought it back from a guy that I sold it to. So I've got my very first truck sitting at my farm right now, and I opened the glove box the other day, and I've got this giant sleeve of nothing but burned CDs, either I made or Lauren made me in high school.
Yeah.
And dude, like getting to put some of that in, getting to hear some old like, Third Eye Blind, or like, just old like '90s alt rock hip hop records. Like burned CDs were the best, dude. It was kind of a love language. It was like, hey, I made you this CD because these are the songs that I thought represent you.
It really does.
The good old days, man.
Yeah, I miss the days of the mixtape. Because playlists, you can do that, but it's not the same. You didn't have to burn it onto a CD.
Yeah, let's bring back burned CDs from mixtapes.
So I was reading that 150 songs were written, like creating this brand new album since last summer. Do you have anything, Thomas, in that vault of yours that is like way out of left field? Like any crazy risks you've taken? Like, is there like a Silk Sonic song on there or anything?
Oh, dude, there's so many. There's so many. And I feel like, I hope at some point in my career that there can be a season where I get to kind of play around with a lot of those songs, because I feel like artists go through phases where they're listening to nothing but R&B, or listening to nothing but Hank Williams Sr., or listening to nothing but Led Zeppelin or whatever. And I feel like as an artist, you kind of got to get that creative bone out, because I think without writing those songs, you don't land on the songs that actually make your record. But dude, I mean, I was looking at my Songspace account the other day, and there's like 7,500 songs in my Songspace account, like songs that I've written from like 2010 to now.
7,500?
Dude, there's a lot. And so I was just like listening back through, and I was like, good Lord, what was I listening to when this was written?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one day it'd be really fun, man, to be able to just start releasing songs from the vault, and not even go record them, but just release them, in their most raw fashion, in the demo fashion. And, I'm sure if you asked any artist that same question, they would say they've got a whole bunch that the label or anybody was like, hey, this is never coming out, right?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, man, there's a lot of weird sounding, risk taking songs in my catalog that I hope get to see the light of day one of these days.
Well, I'm really excited to hear those songs, especially that Silk Sonic-esque. No, I'm just teasing, Thomas. But I appreciate your time this morning, Thomas Rhett. The new album About a Woman coming out on August 23rd. Thomas, I got to tell you, man, this is one of the most excited I've been for one of your new albums, just hearing some of the songs that have come out.
Same, man. I think this, if you've been a fan of mine, from kind of day one, I think this is going to be sort of, it's kind of taking all 6 albums and sort of combining them into one. I think that this is by far at least the most fun record that I've made, and one that I just feel like has so many bangers that we just can't wait to play live, dude. I think this is going to be a fan favorite album for sure. So Thank you for your time this morning and getting to talk music with me.
Of course, and I'll see you at Cheyenne Frontier Days. I'll have some signs with some requests, okay?
Okay.
No, I'm just
Sounds
kidding.
awesome, dude.